Well, we got some great insights from the panel. We had some delegates from Angola as well as the EU. And basically, people wanted to know exactly the short and long-term benefits that we're going to gain from it, from the mining side, also from the social and economic side. Some of the issues that came up was that, one, they wanted to see what kind of benefit, especially for the stakeholders in Northwestern province, they could gain. I think on the second one was to think a bit further than what we're doing at the moment, because what's happening is that most of the activities we're engaging in are mostly short-term. We have to have a long-term approach.
Solwezi, good morning. We are in your city. We as Team Financial Insights are right here in Solwezi, where we're going to be covering the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry Business and Investment Expo that is taking place at the 𝘘𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗵𝗹𝗶 Technological Center right here in Solwezi. My name is Chimwemwe Lungu, and I'm going to be bringing you all the insights that are going to be taking place right here at the conference. So do stay tuned for more insights and more right here on Financial Insights. This particular coverage has been powered by Zanaco, Rolls-Royce and Profite. So do stay tuned right here on Financial Insights. Remember, get to know.
Such as the one we're having under the Lobito Corridor.
Chimwemwe is a delegate from the European Union. He was also
Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing and their dedication and consistency in hosting this important business and investment expo. And to have come this far and have brought us now into the 4th edition shows that they have found their feet and they're becoming a very, very important convener for programs such as the one we are having under the Lobito Corridor. This commitment is testament to the Chamber's vision and dedication and how they want to bring everyone on board, driving local growth, but not forgetting the global content. They've been showing and they've been great ambassadors of what our region has. And I can see they've gone beyond the Northwestern province. They've now touched the rest of the region, and I think that that's how it's supposed to be. Guest of honor, this year's theme, Sustainable Growth through Regional Integration and Value Addition, harnessing opportunities in the Lobito Corridor, is not just a vision. It is a call to action. It is actually an invitation to us all to work together, to shape a brighter future for our people, our businesses, and our nation. Let me borrow from the words of our brother Nason from the Angolan consulate. He said, "This is about us. This is about ourselves. This is about all those who care about better livelihoods and better nations. This is about a journey to conquer our world." And I now see that there are no impossibilities. But as traditional leaders, guests of honor, we are not mere spectators in the story of development. And we shall not be comfortable to be mere spectators. Being custodians of our people's welfare, culture, the future, but if anything, also the custodians of the past, the present and the future. I think that is too huge a responsibility to sit back and be mere spectators. We hold in trust the dynamics, the resources, such as land, that are required for the development that we're talking about.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for staying tuned on Financial Insights. My name is Chimwemwe Lungu, and I am still right here in Solwezi. I am currently joined by the president of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I am going to ask her to fully introduce herself. So we might have viewers who have no idea who she is. She's a very, very powerful woman right here in Solwezi. So ask her to fully introduce herself, her position, and also some of the things that she really does here in Solwezi. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. Welcome to Solwezi.
Thank you so much. Please give us a full introduction of who you really are so that people out there can really get to know you.
Okay, thank you once more. My name is 𝘘𝗶𝘀𝗶𝗏 𝗔𝗫𝗀. And like you've mentioned, I'm the president of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I've been president since March last year. But before that, I was vice president, and I served for 4 years. And so basically, I've been in this service industry for quite a while because I joined the Chamber of Commerce in 2014. And I love what I do. I've been serving the people of the business community of Northwestern Province, ensuring that they have a conducive business climate, to run their businesses. So I'm here to promote business growth, to help capacitate them, facilitate access to markets, facilitate access to finance, just make sure that they have these business opportunities and that they are able to tap into all the opportunities that this province has to offer. Of course, we've got the mining giants here. This is Northwestern Province is a mining hub. So as a chamber and as a leader of the Chamber of Commerce, my role is to ensure that everybody taps into those opportunities that the province has to offer. So I have a history in banking and finance. I've worked in the banking industry since 2010, and I've worked for Finance Bank, Atlas Barra, and then I moved on to LOLC Finance. I worked for 𝘘𝗶𝘀𝗏 Capital, and right now I'm running my own consultancy firm, offering corporate solutions and corporate advisory services as well. And I'm also doing a bit of farming and supply as well.
Powerful woman. I earlier alluded to the fact that she's a very powerful woman. A very rich CV, by the way. So let's go back to your executive sitting down and coming up with the theme for this particular conference. You have really brought out the fact that you have been working with the chamber of for like 4 years. So just let's go back to your executive sitting down and coming up with the theme for this particular conference 2024. What inspired the theme?
Okay, it's actually I've been working since 2014 with the Chamber of Commerce, so it's 10 years with the Chamber. Yes, so our theme for this year, by the way, this is our 4th Expo, so it's become a tradition. So we are hosting expos every year, and every year they're getting bigger and better, and we are not stopping now. We've just started. Yeah, so like I mentioned in my speech earlier, I said the expo is now a brand. That's what it is. So everybody should affiliate to it because it's a good brand, and once you affiliate to a good brand, you thrive. Yeah, so the theme that we opted for this year is sustainable growth through regional integration and value addition, harnessing opportunities in the Lobito Corridor. So basically what we're saying is we have to sustain ourselves as business people, and we have to tap into the opportunities that are in this province. And also we have the Lobito Corridor coming on board. So basically what we want to do is to strategize and see how we can position ourselves. So we're looking at value addition also. How do we promote the manufacturing industry in the province? Yes, we've got various products and services, but how do we add value to them so that they can be able to help enhance our business growth? So that is why we came up with this theme and brought on board various stakeholders. We have 10 companies that have come from Angola. They are exhibiting. They came all the way from Benguela province in Angola. Last year we also had Angola, and hopefully next year we will have Congo on board as well, because we cannot talk about Lobito without mentioning Angola, Congo, and Zambia. It's a trio, and we have to. It's incomplete if we only have 3/4 of the stakeholders in that project. So the main aim of us hosting this expo is to promote partnerships. We want trade linkages to be facilitated. How do we trade with Angola? How do we trade with Congo? How do we break those trade barriers? And how do we make sure that we promote development for the province through this corridor? Because what we're looking at is promoting and enhancing, bettering livelihoods for the locals. We want to contribute to the development of this province, and that can only be done if we sit down as a business community and make sure that we position ourselves and make sure that we harness all these opportunities that the province is presenting.
Talking about opportunities that the province is harnessing, let's talk about some of the challenges also that are being faced by businesses in Northwestern province, and how do you feel such an investment expo could really help address some of those challenges that are faced in Northwestern province by some businesses?
Some of the challenges basically would be lack of access to affordable finance. I think when we had a panel discussion that was highlighted, and that's a major drawback, setback in the business. And also the cost of doing business is also a challenge. It's too high, Yes, people have ideas and they want to do certain things, but for them to just start the whole process of setting up a business is quite cumbersome. They have got so many documentation that they need to, put in place. So when you're trying to start a business and you hardly have any money, how are you going to manage to buy, come up with all those money for all those licenses and put them in place? How will you manage the compliance? How will you manage everything? So basically, as a Chamber of Commerce, that's where we come in, because we help, facilitate all that. There are certain times when we host business clinics where we're able to have like a one-stop shop and help our members in how they can, put all those paperwork in place. And also with access to finance, as a chamber, we have engaged a number of financial institutions, trying to talk to them to see how best they can be able to come up with favorable interest rates and conditions, and for the terms and conditions for our members as they look for access to funding. We've also collaborated with a number of NGOs and embassies and other partners to see how best we can be able to facilitate grants for our members, basically, especially the ones that are in agriculture and now those also in the mining supply chain. Yeah, so we've had those challenges as well. And also another thing is the issue of local content. You heard the discussion about local content. This is something that is very serious and is really affecting our members, because the mining houses will tell us they won't accommodate our SMEs because they lack capacity. So they would rather accommodate foreign companies because it's a mine and they don't want to compromise on certain things, sophisticated ways of doing the mining operations. So they feel our members don't have that capacity. So that's where we come in as a chamber and say, okay, fine, if our chambers don't have capacity, we shall capacitate them. Support us by, facilitating training programs for them. We'll facilitate, but please just support them and make sure that, so we make sure that these SMEs are able to, become competitive so that they can also now supply into the mine value chain. So we have a lot of work to do as a chamber. Basically, we are here to groom the SMEs. We're here to make sure that the businesses are shaped up, and we facilitate business and financial management training programs for them. We help them on how to do their pricing and how to prepare bids and tenders. So we just want to ensure at the end of the day that everybody is comfortable. Everyone in the business community is comfortable. That's our role.
Madam President, thank you so much for joining us on Financial Insights. Congratulations for a successful first day, and we're looking forward to day 2 tomorrow, right here at the Investment and Business Business Expo. We're wishing you all the very best. And thank you so much once again for inviting Team Financial Insights to be on ground to really cover this auspicious, amazing event today.
Thank you so much, 𝘍𝘨𝑚𝑒. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You've come in, it's the first time here in Solwezi, and you've done an amazing job. You've blended in very, very well. Would like to have you over and over again. Thanks for covering our event. Day 1 is done and dusted. Tomorrow is day 2, and we are looking forward to seeing you and hosting this successful event together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. Being a part of the Chamber of Commerce in different sectors, why do you feel it is important for the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry to really host such an event, especially for businesses right here in Northwestern Province?
So a business exposition of this nature really exposes various industries. The Chamber of Commerce is an umbrella body for the private sector that represents all sectors, all businesses, and brings them in this space. So basically the work of the Chamber is advocacy. We want to advocate for better policies in order to enhance the business environment, in order for us to thrive. And when we thrive, we employ more people. When we thrive, we reduce poverty levels. When we thrive, we create opportunities for growth. When you hear statistics like SMEs, the 70% of jobs that are created on the market come from the SMEs, and SMEs make up 90% of employers on the market. Those are huge numbers. So what the Chambers of Commerce, especially Northwestern Chamber, does is bring stakeholders into one space. What you see today are private sector players, government players, and civil society organizations such as the USAID coming into one place and fostering collaboration, fostering conversations, fostering mapping the way forward of how our economy should look like. This is a very important engagement, and I want to commend the Northwestern Chamber for coming up with it. This is the 4th year running, and every year it grows bigger. So we commend them for bringing the likes that I've mentioned in one room and be able to have those engagements. You heard in the afternoon we had a presentation by the Zambia Revenue Authority bringing up a number of engagements that they've done in the past, but also speaking to the smart invoicing system that is very topical at the moment. But also you saw other sectors coming in, like contractors, miners, speaking to tourism industry, for example. So we want to see how can we bring these that may seem apparently separate sectors, but driving one agenda of growth, of sustainability, of creation of jobs. So this is what the Chamber of Commerce in Northwestern has done, and I think it's a fantastic job.
Absolutely amazing. You were moderating a very, very insightful panel discussion this afternoon. So just briefly summarize some of the key takeaways of today's panel discussion that you were actually moderating.
So I was moderating a panel discussion on bringing together the mining sector and how mining can support ecotourism. And the discussants were coming from the mining sector itself, both the corporate or the large, as we call them, as well as the medium scale, coming from the background of artisanal to the level of medium scale, as well as from the Ministry of Tourism representative as in the likes of national heritage. In fact, National Heritage Conservation Commission was also on the table, and it was such a brilliant discussion, because then we talked about how these two players, industry players, one from the extractive sector, the other one from the protective sector, how can they come to the table and enhance economic development without disturbing the environment, without disturbing the well-being of the local people, in fact enhancing the well-being of the local people, but also educating and showing people that we can do more within the environment that we coexist. It was a brilliant conversation, and I think such should be encouraged, because then we were able to see that the National Heritage Conservation Commission has needs that perhaps the mining entities could easily meet. For example, for us to drive the tourism agenda, we need infrastructure development, whether it's access to the tourist points that we want, whether it's infrastructure in terms of buildings, whether it's infrastructure in terms of amenities, that has to be there. Bed spaces need to be there. Marketing components have to be there. So when all that is being discussed, you realize it's not in isolation. All players can actually come together and have a better output in what the conversation would look like. So it was really very eye-opening there. I felt that the discussants were brilliant and they brought so much to the table.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. I am currently joined by Mr. Kafuta. Now, today in the morning, he was part of a panel discussion. So first up, I'm going to ask him to fully introduce himself. So thank you so much for joining us on today's interview.
You're most welcome.
Please give us a full introduction of who Mr. Kafuta really is.
Mukumbi Kafuta is my name. I am the immediate past president of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm an entrepreneur. I am the managing director of Fortune World Investments Limited.
Thank you so much. You were part of a very insightful panel discussion today. Just give us highlights of today's panel discussion that you were on.
Well, today we were looking at local content in the mining sector and how the regulations in the mining sector can be enhanced, for us to have the local content procurement bill becoming law. And what we were looking at some of the challenges in implementation, some of the advantages, opportunities, and basically that is what we're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being the past president, let's go there. How does it make you feel that since this is something that you worked towards, being part of the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and seeing today where we are and having hosted a very successful business and investment expo, how does that make you feel being the past president?
I'm very proud of the team that I actually worked with in the past. This is our third, or if not fourth, Expo in a row, and we've been seeing the expos becoming better and better and better. And I believe that everyone on the team now knows what to do, and it really makes me feel very proud.
And while you were president, what are some of the milestones that were achieved that you fully hope can really be achieved by the new administration that is actually running the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry?
Well, I think during my tenure, we were quite strong in advocacy. That is when we started the advocacy towards local content procurement. We were strong in advocacy towards the tax policies, where we would speak on behalf of the mines. There was a time that the government that time and the mining sector had an impasse. We came in and we resolved it because, we were trying to resolve the issue of double taxation, and we managed to ensure that the investors don't go. And today they are here, and we are seeing that there's so many expansion projects that are taking place. So I would really love to see the momentum continuing with this, new board. I believe they're doing a good job already. They need more aggression, especially in terms of local content. We need now to sensitize the people so that they know what local content is about, engage more stakeholders, engage government continuously, engage the stakeholders like the mines so that they can see the flip side of it, what is the advantage. They should be able to tell the people that local content should be looked at from the point of view of development of the country regarding Vision 2030, which the government is actually hoping to see to it that by the year 2030, which we have 6 years to go, we would be a country that is a medium, a medium-sized economy, a middle-income economy, whereby at least we're going to have very little unemployment, we're going to have good infrastructure, we're going to have industrialization, we're going to have most Zambians participating in the, in the economy, in all the sectors of the economy, that's mining, agriculture, energy, name it, tourism, and all those sectors. That is what we mean by having a middle-income country, and I think we need to continue making that positive sensitization, and I would like them to pick up the baton from there.
Thank you so much for joining us on this particular interview. We are really honored and humbled to have you join us today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.